What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kevin and I never sleep, and you're probably wondering, where the hell have I been all this time? I know it's something you probably lose sleep over. Where is Kevin Never Sleeps? Where is this obscure channel content creator? I literally cannot sleep at night because I don't know what Kevin Never Sleeps is doing. Where is he? Did he die? The truth is, I've been wanting to expand my content creator horizons here and there. I wore different hats. I tried a couple different things over these past couple years that distracted me from my main channel. I started a podcast.
Now, as a man, you want to smell good, right? You have three options to do so. You have deodorant, you have body spray, and you have cologne.
Word.
You can use one or two of the three, but you cannot use all three, because at that point, if you use all three, you're overdoing it, and you risk smelling like a woman.
Big facts.
No woman wants their man smelling like a woman.
Nah.
Like all this specific shit like sandalwood. What the fuck even is sandalwood? No woman wants their man pulling up smelling like sandalwood.
Sandalwood?
Wooden sandals? You want your man to smell like wooden sandals?
Sandals. Sandalwood. Bad. I tried being an astrological card reader. Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're gonna get into it for our air signs. This is going to be for Gemini, Libra, and Asparagus. I'm getting a lot of Asparagus energy in here. So if you have Asparagus in your sun, moon, and rising, or I'm getting other planets as well, if you have maybe Asparagus in Uranus, this card reading is going to be for you especially. So Asparagus and Uranus, please keep up with this video. So let's go. Oh, whoa, I ain't reading all that. Whoa, okay. So we have left. My cat is licking herself right there. That's very fire sign energy. She's pointing to the left, to the left, to the left. So this is the ending of a relationship for you, Asparagus in Uranus. And I even tried being a TikTok reactionary channel.
That's attention-seeking behavior. That's what women do.
Facts.
We don't wear sandals. Women do. Low-value women. Low-value women wear sandals. These women do not go to church. They do not cook. They do not clean. They have no household skills.
I just didn't quite make the cut in any of those areas. In all seriousness, I was going through a lot of personal things in my life, and they were really taking an emotional toll on me, and it was a big reason why I wasn't making any videos. And there are a lot of video projects that are just on my hard drive sitting there that I could never post because they're not good enough, and I've been suffering a lot of paralysis by analysis, and I want to take my channel to new heights, another level, and I have a plan in which I want to do that. There's a lot that I want to talk about with you guys, and I want to be a lot more real and authentic on my channel, and continue making Blender art for one thing, but I do need to continue doing YouTube videos as well. Ultimately, with life being the way it is, I've been coming to a lot of general realizations, like, I'm human, I'm gonna die someday, and I could get sick, I could get really sick one day and be bedridden in a hospital, and I'll be looking back on my life like, what the hell have I done with all of my time, with all of my years? Believe it or not, I'm going to be 30 in November, and thinking about crossing that threshold from the 20s to the 30s. It is cliche, you go into thinking about, how have I wasted my 20s? How have I used my 20s productively to make my future self more powerful and more intelligent and ready to take on the world in this new decade of life? You really start thinking about all of these things, and what path are you going to be on for the next 10 or so years? How much time do you really have on this planet? I've been someone who's been particularly sheltered growing up, and that led to a sheltered adulthood kind of life. And with life happening the way it has been happening for the past couple years, I've just been more and more in this mindset of, I want to live my life. I want to find some kind of a balance in my life, between my full-time job and just life in general, finding a balance with health. You have to come home from work, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to take care of yourself in general. There's a lot of time dedicated to that sort of thing. So you want to find a good balance in life, but me in particular, yeah, I've always wanted to do YouTube videos. And ideally, I would be one of those regular YouTubers who can just keep putting out content and keep putting out content. But with my full time job, that provides me health insurance and things like that. Like, I need to have that. Finding balance and finding the energy to also make YouTube videos is a lot to have on one's plate. And I don't want to be that kind of person who just keeps making excuses, but the way it is, the way time is, the way my energy is, it's just not going to happen that I can make regular content. So with all of that being said, and finding balance and having enough time in life, this is the content creation idea that I've had for quite some time, that is a solution to myself, my dilemma, and how I want to do YouTube and want to continue YouTube while also maintaining that life balance. And I want to share that with you because I know a lot of you might be in the same boat as well. And it would be a kind of positive social contagion if we kind of saw content creation change in general this way, and it kind of permeated the internet, and we could get back to what the internet and online content creation was meant to be in the first place: open source, creativity, and all of that kind of stuff. Finding a way to streamline it and bring people together, it could be a very powerful thing. This is called Story. It's going to combine basic vlog format with Blender creativity, Blender building, Blender character creation, all of that stuff. It's going to give you two different channels of content in one video. I notice that a lot of content is like that these days. You see one side of the screen is like video games, and the other side of the screen is like politics or something. They're making some podcast. They're talking about real world issues or something, things that have nothing to do with each other, and it really caters to our ADHD, our social media induced ADHD that we have going on. We have to be bombarded by information, but in this case, I want it to be useful information. I want you to see two different parallels of my world, my universe, right? Take you into my creative realm, take you into my real world realm, what I'm doing, what adventures that I'm going on. I want to encourage people to enhance their skills, but also go out, go on adventures, touch grass, be in the real world, because that is so important these days. I don't want us to be isolated. I want us to create, and I want us to go out there, be in the sunshine. It's more important now more than ever that we do that and we don't just stay inside our rooms and be miserable. So Story is playing on that main character theme. We are the main characters of our own story. Like, we're going through a video game and we're the main characters and we're going on all these adventures, right? But at the same time, we're telling the story of how we've gotten to the point of what we made step by step. Speed art. That's very important. In the age of AI and how AI can make literally anything right before your eyes in a snap of a finger, Story is going to focus more on the journey. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. It's very important these days in the age of AI, like I said, to show your own work. Speed art should be more important now than ever to show. Speed art videos, however, might not be the most entertaining thing, which is why I want to intercut it with vlogs. I think it's just important to build on what you have. So this episode is kind of me starting over. This is more in depth of how I make a head. I started off with the skull and I sculpt around the skull. The skull I will leave below in the description. I got it on Turbo Squid. I think I paid like $40 for it. I won't provide the skull for free on Discord because I want you guys to actually support the artist that made the skull. It's a very good artistic resource to have if you're making a character head, a humanoid character head, and you want it to be, at least somewhat anatomically correct, it's a good starting off point. And I think one of you even suggested that in Discord, and I've been doing it ever since. I took that advice, and that's why I bought the skull on Turbo Squid in the first place. So just more in depth on how I make a humanoid character, and then I'll be making different things. I have different things in my library of things that I've been making. It's always important to keep a record of all of your speed work, keep an archive of all of that so that you can show it later on and prove that you actually made what you made. That's going to be very important for me, at least going forward. It's very important to show your work. That's the gist of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so, a couple questions. How do you guys feel about AI? What do you think about AI? What do you think about NFTs? What do you think about how AI affects the NFT market or basic artists in general? Who do you think is most threatened by AI artwork? Do you think it's going to get better in the future, or do you think AI art is going to get even worse? I've heard two different opinions. I want to know what you guys think. Content like story is going to depend on how much I can build, how much I can vlog, what can come of it over time. This is going to depend on how consistent I am with making these kinds of videos over time, because it is a story. Your life is a story, and you should, I don't mean to push my views and my beliefs onto you, but you should think of yourself as important, because you are. Like, what you're doing is important, what you love is important, what you make is important, and the life you live is important, and you should think that it's at least important enough to document to some extent. You could be the next great artist, and if you don't document your work from the very beginning, it's like you don't really have a record of where you came from. You don't get to look back on where you came from and how you improved. It's a great resource not only for yourself, but for other people as well. That is, if you wanted to share it. You could look back on it and be like, wow, like, I've really improved. Like, it's a great gift to give your future self, right? To start this from the very beginning and give that gift to that person that you could possibly be in the future. Look back on it and smile on, how you thought you were good back then, but you're even better now, right? It's all about self-improvement. It's all about growth. This series is also to highlight growth, not only in your artistic life, but your real life as well. And going back to finding life balance, and another reason why I'm doing this sort of thing, and also this is why you don't see me make a lot of animations on my channel. They take me a long time, especially with my full-time job. When I've made an animation, you have to understand all of the things, and you have to give props to independent animators who do this stuff for a living, especially if they are solely independent. They are the one person who does all of it, depending on the quality, but you have to understand that a lot goes into this kind of content, animations and things like that, especially the things that I want to do. My ideas get away from me, and I want to do so much, but I'm paralyzed because I do want to do so much, but there's so little time and so much that goes into what I want to do, which is another reason why I want to do content like this, to show you the things that take time and this coming together over time. Back when I was animating those things, I'm not only animating, I'm doing all of the character modeling, unless otherwise stated. If I feature someone else's character model in something, I would mention that. But otherwise, I'm doing all of the character modeling, all of the environmental lighting, texturing, editing, voice acting, subtitles, sound effects, video effects, 3D effects like fire and things. You're doing so many different jobs to produce one piece of content. And in order for me to do that, I had to go to a very crazy place in my mind. Like, I had to be pretty much hypomanic to get anything done, to get the project that I wanted to get done, and it didn't feel healthy to me at all. Like, afterward, I just felt so drained, and I just didn't want to make content anymore because it was too much. It was too much on me, especially with a full-time job. Like I said, it was so much, and that again ties into the kind of balance that I want to find in my life. How I want to go back to Blender and keep making things in Blender, which leads me back to this kind of content that I want to make, story, because it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing thing, and if I just start over from point A and you're seeing something develop over time with my real life, I think that could be very, very rewarding, not only for me, but for you as the viewer and a community in general. That's what I wanted to talk about with you today as you watch me creating a head and how you can create a head in Blender yourself. So the lack of balance is my problem. This story content is my solution to that problem, and I'm making this kind of content for myself, really, above all, so that I can look back on it later on and see how far I've come and what I've made. Yeah, so I hope I articulated this properly. It's a big idea, and I could talk so much about it. I have so many things to talk with you guys about, but I'm going to get into the next segment of story, and this is going to be more aligned with what you would expect to see in the next episodes of story as well. Just going on adventures, things like that. I'm not going to be in my room talking. I just wanted to sit here and explain this to you as the first part of the episode. So let's get into it. So now this part is more going along with the idea of what I'm talking about. It's May 8th, sorry. And I'm fishing alone at a lake. I've taken up fishing lately. I got excited. I caught my first fish the other day. And I was like, yes, this could work out. I could just fish and live on the fish that I catch. But that's not really realistic. I think I'm gonna have to stick to Uber Eats. This wind is really bad. It's really messing up with the microphone and the sound and stuff. So it's only May. Summer is just beginning. I mean, spring is here. Summer is coming. It's on the way. I've been here for 3 hours, I think, now. And I still haven't caught anything. It's a nice day, though. So yeah, what can I talk about while I'm waiting? Let me cast out another line. Let's see. That's what I caught. I don't think I can eat that. That's not dinner. Okay, so I'm all the way out there. That's a bit better. The wind keeps blowing it back, which is really annoying. I got an inflatable kayak on Amazon, so if this doesn't work, I might just go out for like a half hour on the kayak and see if I can go into better territory with actual fish. I'm going in the kayak. Gotta get my fishing rod on there and figure out how I'm gonna do this. Right, so I'm on my kayak. It's actually kind of uneven right now. It's kind of making me a little bit nervous that I'm gonna tip over. And if I tip over, my GoPro doesn't have any protection on it. And yeah, I just have a lot of stuff I don't want to get wet.
and the current is just pushing me right back to shore. So I don't think realistically I'm gonna catch anything. And fucking around with this fishing pole while I'm on the kayak is a bit tricky. Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can cast this. Don't want to make too many sudden movements. I don't want to tip this thing. Cool, you didn't do anything. Good job. Fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? This kayak was not meant for this at all. Shake it loose. Nope, that's not working either. So for those who can't see this, the tip of my fishing pole is very tangled right now. And to get it untangled is, on this kayak, is next to impossible. Because it's a fishing pole and it's pretty long and I'm trying to... Yeah, this is a total failure. Oh my god. Yeah, I just shook the worm right off of it. Cool. Great. Great. Yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm just gonna say fuck it and go back to shore. Ideally, I think what this kayak is really meant for is getting from point A to point B and then fishing on land once you reach the other side of the lake. It's not meant to just fish in the kayak. Okay, so that was a fail. I'm gonna get back to shore without flipping over my fishing pole down somehow. So I made it. I made it out alive. I'm dry for the most part. Everything's dry. Everything's good. And now I gotta let all the air out of this thing and call it a day. So today is May 10th. Tonight is May 10th. I'm headed back from the lake again. I went back around sunset time. I bought a new camera lens for my really old Canon T3i, but it's an off-brand lens, so it didn't really work with the camera like automatically. The f-stops are set manually, so it's a bit of a learning curve. But it's an 85mm lens, and I wanted to go back to the lake and get some good shots of the geese. I saw there was a family of geese. They just had like brand new babies, and I love when the little babies walk around, and it's really cute. So I went back to get at least some good video shots of them, and I tried to get as close as I could, but they didn't like my presence around. They kept moving away. But the thing about an 85mm lens, you don't have to get too close to get a fairly decent shot of them. So that's what I did, and then I tried to fish and didn't catch anything. I forgot my worms at home, so whatever. It wasn't a total waste of a day. Now I'm headed back home. I gotta go to work later in like an hour or two. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wrap the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is an example of what story will be: adventures, vlogs, and also Blender speed art, Blender progress, Blender learning. If you have anything that you want to add in the comments below, please do so. Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed. And you want to see more videos like this one. And join the Discord if you want to share what you've made in Blender. So that's that. I will see you guys in the next chapter of Story. Have a good night.